On behalf of our owner, executive leadership team, and your KidsCare colleagues, welcome to KidsCare Home Health. We are so pleased that you are joining us, and we know that your contributions will assist us in remaining a leader within our industry. During orientation today, we will be covering the following: the KidsCare organization to include our history, mission, and core values. We will also take a few moments to introduce you to your leadership team. Once you are properly introduced, we will cover the very important topic of benefits and compensation. During this portion of the orientation, you will receive details on the many benefits we offer our team members. As a suggestion, if you have individual questions that arise during this portion of the presentation, please take a moment to write them down. Once onboarding is complete, you will be contacted by our benefit and leave specialist with information on how to enroll. That will be the perfect time to ask your questions. The third portion of this presentation will cover a major policy review. Although you will also be given access to the KidsCare Employee Handbook, this portion of the presentation is meant to highlight several of our organization's key policies. Finally, we will briefly touch on employee resources and provide a who's who on the HR team. During the organizational overview section, we will share the who, what, where, when, and why of the company for which you have chosen to work. It's important for each of us to know our company's purpose so that we have an opportunity to align our personal and professional goals with those of the organization. KidsCare Home Health is a pediatric home health agency serving Colorado, Florida, Idaho, Maryland, Oregon, South Carolina, Texas, and Virginia. We focus on nursing and speech, physical, and occupational therapies, as well as provide case management for children up to 18 years old. We have been providing quality pediatric home health care to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex since 2003, when speech therapist and company owner Courtney Baker started treating children in patient homes. Courtney's belief that patient care is most effective when conducted one-on-one in a familiar environment that includes family members and caregivers led to the creation of a company that has since grown to include over 700 speech, physical, and occupational therapists and nurses, and over 7,000 active patients across all markets, all while maintaining that original commitment to providing quality health care to every child serviced. An organization's mission is its reason for existence. A mission statement should be clear and concise so that there is no question as to what the organization is about. It describes the purpose and overall intention of our company. KidsCare Home Health is committed to building on our foundation of changing lives through care. The care values are the guiding principles that direct and guide our organization and our team members. They are the basis for our care culture. C. The C in CARE stands for commitment. KidsCare Home Health employees demonstrate a commitment to the pursuit of quality and service to our patients, their families, and our communities. A. The A in CARE stands for accountability. Accountability is the consistent pursuit for a higher level of professional excellence. R. The R in CARE stands for results. Results are the successful achievement of goals through hard work and determination. E. The E in CARE stands for ethics. KidsCare Home Health employees will act in the highest standard of ethical conduct by doing the right thing, even when no one is looking. The success of our organization, and ultimately yours as an employee, starts and ends with knowing our mission and upholding the care values. We are here to support you in your pursuit of excellence. Let's meet the KidsCare leadership team. Our CEO is Dr. Courtney Baker. As the CEO, Courtney keeps us focused upon our mission and vision. Our president is Eric Baker. As the president, Eric is responsible for strategy and operations management. Eric has direct oversight of our business development, growth strategy, daily financial management, and our information technology group. Our Chief Financial Officer is Jason Baker. As the CFO, Jason is responsible for the financial health of the organization. And our Chief Operating Officer is Mickey Roget. As the COO, Mickey oversees our community relations team, compliance department, human resources group, and nursing, recruiting, and therapy operations. As a nursing team member, you are led by Dustin Reeves, our VP of Nursing Operations. Dustin has been with KidsCare for a total of 3 years. Originally, Dustin worked as a member of our marketing team. When Dustin left KidsCare, he went to pursue a career in nursing. He has worked in various fields, including pediatric emergency nursing, adult care, and nursing leadership. Dustin returned to KidsCare in 2021 and has since transitioned into his current role. Dustin is committed to ensuring that our most fragile clients receive compassionate, quality, and reliable nursing services. He knows that it is only through our caring nursing team members that we are able to do so. Dustin's message to you today includes a big welcome. He believes that every day that another nurse starts with KidsCare is a huge victory for this amazing company. He knows that you could have chosen to take any of the other nursing jobs out there, but you are willing to give us a shot. For that, we are all incredibly grateful. He's grateful. You see, we're building something special at KidsCare. We're a company that has a mission statement that is bi-directional. We care. We care about our patients, but we also care about our employees. He wants to show you an employment opportunity that is substantially different from any other that you may have experienced. He wants to equip you to be better today than you were yesterday. If KidsCare does these 2 things well, he has no doubt that our patients and their families will reap the benefit. In coming to KidsCare, please know that you matter and so does your input. Let us know how we can serve you so that you can better serve our patients. Together, by simply caring for one another, we will be successful. Welcome to the nursing team.
KidsCare truly values employee contributions in ensuring that our patients receive exceptional care. When building our benefits programs, we focus on a balance of both coverage and cost in a sincere effort to meet our employees and their families' needs. As a result, our benefits program provides comprehensive options that are important to all of our employees. During the benefits and compensation section, we'll review at a high level the organizational benefit offerings, as well as any relevant payroll-related items. Your offer letter was created and signed by both yourself and KidsCare to ensure a clear understanding of your initial compensation with the organization. Should you have any lingering questions regarding your compensation, please speak with your recruiter, hiring manager, or a member of the HR team. Our benefit program currently offers health and wellness benefits, 401k plan with employer matching, paid time off, holiday pay, tuition and certification reimbursement, employee referral bonuses, Employee of the Year and quarter bonuses, an employee assistance program, employer-sponsored child care benefits, professional development funds, and professional growth opportunities. Initial eligibility for benefits is based upon a variety of factors. Employees who are eligible will be notified by the Human Resources Department through their work email account shortly before the effective date of their eligibility. In order to remain eligible for benefits, employees must continue to meet certain factors. These factors will be discussed further in the major policy review section of this presentation. You may also review the Employee Handbook and Benefits Decision Guide for further information. Should you have eligibility questions or questions about any of our offerings, please do not hesitate to reach out to our benefit and leave specialist or another member of the HR team to discuss. Health and wellness benefits include your medical, dental, vision, life, disability, and other supplemental plans to include dependent life, accident insurance, critical illness, and hospital indemnity coverages. Coverage for eligible team members begins the first of the month following 1 month of employment. Medical benefits are paid through a combination of employer-employee funding, as is the health savings account for those team members who choose to participate in the high-deductible health plan. All other benefits in this category are voluntary and funded by employee payroll deductions. The organization offers a basic life insurance policy and long-term disability insurance at zero cost to our eligible team members. They're 100% company funded. Our benefits and leave specialists will be able to assist with any of your specific benefit questions once your enrollment period is activated. Let's take a quick peek together at the benefits that are currently available. Our medical plans are administered by UMR, a United Healthcare company. As a result, our plan utilizes the UHC Choice Plus network of doctors, hospitals, clinics, and for other medical services. UMR's participant portal makes finding a provider within the network simple. Once enrolled, you'll be given access to this site. Our medical plans currently include a copay plan with $30 PCP office visit copay, a $2,000 individual deductible, and access to pharmacy benefits, as well as 2 HSA plan options. The HSA plan options are paired with the ability to access an HSA bank account with the opportunity to receive employer matching funds. You can see by reviewing this slide that each plan is unique and offers our employees control over their individual healthcare spend by allowing for choice in the selection of the level of healthcare coverage suited to their individual lifestyle and circumstances. After reviewing the previous slide, you might be wondering, what are the differences between a copay plan and a high deductible health plan with the health savings account? So let's quickly look at these definitions. A copay plan is an insurance policy which allows covered individuals to pay for covered healthcare services at fixed, lower rates. For example, to be seen at an in-network physician's office might cost a flat $30 dependent upon the plan's stated copay rate, whereas a high deductible health plan is intended to cover serious illnesses or injuries once your total deductible has been met. The high deductible health plans are paired with the opportunity to create a health savings account, and an HSA, like an IRA, allows for the benefit of paying for qualified medical expenses on a pre-tax basis and is meant to cover small and routine medical expenses inside of the high deductible health plan until your deductible is met, at which time the plan will begin to pay. There are several tax benefits to participating in an HSA account, but before we go further into these advantages, take a quick note that the copay plan, should an eligible employee choose to enroll in it, this will prohibit access to the health savings account only for the high deductible health plans. HSAs are bank accounts that are owned by you, the employee. This means that the money remains yours. It rolls over from year to year. There's no use it or lose it regulation like in an FSA. And with an HSA, you can use the funds to pay for qualifying medical expenses, reimburse yourself for prior medical expenses, save for future medical expenses, and best of all, grow your funds through investment options. HSAs are described as having triple tax saving benefit. First, your contributions are taken from payroll on a pre-tax basis, which again reduces your taxable income. Second, withdrawals from the account are tax-free when taken to pay for qualified medical expenses. And third, investment growth within the account is also tax-free, once again when used to pay for qualified medical expenses. KidsCare has established an employer contribution for those employees who have enrolled in the high deductible health plan and established a health savings account. If you are enrolled in the HSA Plan 1, you are eligible to receive up to $800 of employer contribution money. If you are enrolled in the HSA Plan 2, you are eligible to receive up to $2,000. These contributions are made on a per quarter basis and include a flat dollar contribution during quarters 1 and quarter 3, and then a matching contribution during quarter 2 and quarter 4. If you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with this information, no worries. During your initial enrollment period, we can talk through this information one-on-one. And at any time, you can reach out to our team for more information. KidsCare offers 2 dental plans, once again to provide options for our eligible team members. These plans are offered through Guardian and are all considered voluntary insurance plans. This means that they are 100% paid for by the employee. Dental insurance is still covered under a pre-tax option, so covered individuals will receive a tax advantage on their premiums by having them reduce their overall taxable income. Once again, you will have another opportunity to review and discuss these plan options during your initial enrollment period. On the base PPO plan, covered individuals will have a $50 individual deductible and a $150 family deductible. Annual maximum benefits are $500. Preventative care like routine exams and cleanings are covered at 100%. Basic care like fillings and simple extractions are covered at 70%, and major care like surgical extractions and crowns are covered at 40%. The buy-up PPO plan also has a $50 individual deductible and a $150 family deductible. The annual maximum benefit is $1,500, and preventative care is still covered at 100%. Basic services are going to be covered at 80%, and major care will be covered at 50%. Both plans utilize the Dental Guard Preferred Network. Our vision plan is also provided by Guardian. Covered individuals enjoy a $10 copay for eye exams. Eye exams are allowed every 12 months. Corrective lenses and contact lenses are also allowed every 12 months. Eyeglass frames are covered every 24 months. Currently, our plan utilizes the VSP Choice Network, which is one of the largest. Short-term disability insurance provides you with income protection should you become ill or injured. Based upon Guardian's approval, you receive 60% of your average income for up to 12 weeks while you're out due to injury or illness after completing a 7-day elimination waiting period. Supplemental life insurance allows our team members to purchase additional insurance beyond the company-provided benefit. Plan options include $25,000, $50,000, $75,000, and $100,000. If you choose to purchase additional employee life, you may also purchase coverage for your dependents. Spousal life coverage can be purchased at an amount up to 50% of the employee's chosen coverage, up to a maximum of $50,000. And dependent children coverage can be purchased at 10% of the employee's amount, up to a maximum coverage of $10,000. Cost for coverage is dependent on the amount of benefit chosen and is based upon your age. Other supplemental plans offered through Guardian include an accident insurance plan. This plan adds an additional layer of protection by giving you cash payments to cover out-of-pocket expenses when you suffer an unexpected qualifying event. A critical illness insurance policy issues cash payments to you should you experience a serious illness like cancer, heart attack, or stroke. These funds can be used to pay for expenses incurred as a result of the illness, which are not covered by health insurance. And finally, a hospital indemnity plan. This pays you a benefit amount, dependent upon your plan selection, if you are admitted to the hospital or ICU. Plus, you will be paid a small per diem per each day that you remain in the hospital. Because we care about you and your family's total well-being, KidsCare and Guardian offer an employee assistance program as part of our overall benefits package. An employee assistance program is a voluntary work-based offer that provides free and confidential assessments, short-term counseling, referrals, and follow-up services to team members who have personal and/or work-related concerns. The Work Life Matters EAP service can connect you with mental health and counseling services that will fit your individual needs any hour of the day or night. All services provided are confidential and not shared with KidsCare. Access information is provided here as well as can be found in the benefits guide. You may also reach out to a member of the HR team should you be unable to locate this information in the future. Our 401k plan is administered by John Hancock. To be eligible, you must be at least 21 years of age, have worked for KidsCare for at least 1 full year, and have worked 1,000 hours within that first 12 months of employment. KidsCare matches 100% of the first 4% of your contributions to the plan. You are immediately vested in the contributions made by the organization, meaning the employer matching money is yours without having to satisfy additional seniority requirements like may be required inside of other 401k plans. There are several advantages to contributing to the 401k plan. 1, contributions are taken directly out of your paycheck before federal income taxes are withheld. Because your contributions are pre-tax, it lowers your total taxable income, which means you may owe less in income taxes. 2, you're in control. You can contribute as much or as little as you want, subject to plan and IRS limits, into your account. Plus, you have the flexibility to change your contribution levels at any time dependent on your situation. 3, time is on your side. The earlier you start investing, the more time that your money has to grow. 4, you can take it with you. Meaning, should you change jobs, the money you have contributed and its earnings belong to you. Finally, all contributions are made through payroll, which makes it very convenient to save. Remember, a comfortable retirement requires good planning. Through the 401k plan here at KidsCare, it's simple to get started. KidsCare believes in professional development. As a result, we wish to invest in your growth. The Professional Development Fund is one way that we do so. PD funds are available to full-time and part-time nurses, and they accrue at 10 cents per hour worked, up to a maximum of $500. Accruals will stop when the maximum is reached and will not begin again until the balance drops below the maximum. Calculations are performed during each payroll using the number of hours paid out to the nurse. Shift notes must be submitted by the nurse, approved by the manager, and paid out on a paycheck in order to count towards PD fund accrual. Funds can be used to reimburse CEUs, licensure renewal fees, professional development certifications, and more. PD fund requests submitted during a nurse termination notice period will not be paid. Balances in PD funds at time of termination are forfeited. As another means of investing in our team members, KidsCare offers tuition and certification reimbursement. To be eligible, employees must be employed for 1 full year and they must be full-time. The certification, degree, program, or associated classes must be job-related or be consistent with the business of KidsCare to qualify for reimbursement. Basic reimbursements include certifications $500 per calendar year, bachelor's degree $1,000 per calendar year, up to 4 years, and graduate degree $1,500 per calendar year, up to 2 years. Reimbursement is subject to management approval and does require the submission of grades as well as proof of payment. Employees who wish to use the tuition and certification reimbursement program are encouraged to review the employee handbook for further details, as well as to reach out to HR for discussion. We are pleased to announce our new partnership with the Learning Care Group. With over 1,050 high-quality early education childcare centers across the country, LCG is a great fit for our employees where they live and work. We know that it can be difficult to balance work and family, and that many families face challenging choices when it comes to childcare. That's why we've partnered with LCG to support our working families and ensure that you have access to high-quality, affordable childcare. LCG offers infant care to school-age programs and flexible enrollment options to fit your schedule. Through our partnership, employees will receive a 10% tuition discount on childcare expenses for children ages 0 to 12 years. This includes a free initial registration fee. See the flyer on the slide for more information and reach out to HR if you need additional details. To find out more about Learning Care Group and locations near you, you can visit the website at mylearningcaregroup.com/kidscarekids or call 877-747-2492. Here at KidsCare, payroll is processed on a biweekly basis. This means that everyone will be paid every 2 weeks on Fridays. Most months of the year will have 2 paychecks, but each year there are a couple of months with 3 paychecks. In those months, any benefit deductions you may have are not withheld on that final pay period. In order to receive your pay timely, nurses will have 24 hours to submit their visit notes in the CanTime system, as payment of work completed is subject to QA approval. If applicable to you, any incentive or bonus pay is going to be paid out on the first paycheck of each month. When we talk about compensation, it is worth noting that if an employee loses their current case, they should immediately reach out to their manager to discuss other potential cases and clients and work schedules which may be available. KidsCare will typically allow a full-time employee to remain full-time in an inactive status for up to 60 days from the last date worked. However, during this inactive period, and once PTO has been exhausted, this time will be unpaid. If no case becomes available within the 60-day period, employees may choose to move into a PRN status. Moving into a PRN status will affect benefit eligibility. PRN employees are expected to complete at least 1 shift per month. Employees may remain PRN for up to 180 days or 6 months from last shift worked, after which time continued employment status would be re-evaluated. This is a quick view of the 2023 payroll calendar. Please note that you will have other opportunities to receive a copy of this document, so there's no need to worry about writing this information down. Paid time off is available for full-time and part-time nurses. Payment for PTO is equivalent to your current hourly rate. PTO is available for use after the first 90 days of employment, although your accrual of time will begin immediately. This means that by the time you have completed your introductory period here at KidsCare, you would have some time available for use. You must accrue PTO in order to use it, and KidsCare does not advance PTO, nor does our policy allow employees to carry a negative balance.
PTO accruals are calculated based on the number of hours paid out to an employee during each payroll period. This calculation looks at the number of hours worked and multiplies it by the appropriate accrual rate. For an example, if an employee is with 2 years of seniority worked an average of 30 hours a week within a 7-day work week for the entire year, they will have accrued 30 hours of PTO by the end of that 12-month period. This means that in general, nurses will accrue 1 week of PTO equal to their average hours worked per week per year. Once a nurse has been with Kids Care for 4 years, they would accrue the equivalent of 2 weeks of PTO per year based on their average hours worked. Kids Care offers paid holiday bonuses to full-time nurses. The paid holidays include New Year's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Thanksgiving Day, and Christmas Day. The bonus is equivalent to 8 hours of the employee's regular pay rate for each of the holidays and can be earned regardless of if the actual holiday is worked or not. To earn a holiday bonus, an employee must have been paid for an average of 30 hours per week in the 3 months prior to the month in which the holiday falls. This can be confusing, so let's take a look at an example. For a nurse to receive the Thanksgiving holiday bonus, they must have been paid for an average of at least 30 hours per week for all paychecks paid in the months of August, September, and October. Please remember that paycheck dates are different than pay period dates, so should you have any concerns regarding your holiday bonus, it is best to verify your individual situation with a member of the HR team.
The purpose of the major policy review is to highlight key policies for newly hired employees. Questions may be directed to a member of the HR team. While you will be provided a complete copy of the Kids Care Employee Handbook, the above listed policies are those that we find ourselves referring to most often. We will not be reading each policy in detail, however, we feel it is important to cover those listed here at a high level. Although we have covered employee benefits prior, we feel it is important to briefly discuss eligibility factors related to our benefits program. Eligibility for benefits is based upon several factors to include employment status, full-time, part-time, both high and low, and PRN, location, and discipline, administrative, nursing, and therapy, as well as productivity, hours, units, or visits. We provide detailed eligibility requirements for each employee seeking to earn group benefits, as well as those who currently have benefits in the Kids Care Benefit Decision Guide in detail. It is important to understand eligibility requirements as continuation of benefits is dependent upon remaining in an eligible group. Kids Care currently reviews eligibility biannually. The Benefit Decision Guide can be found in the ADP self-service portal, to which you will be introduced shortly, as well as insurance summary plan documents. While the company intends to maintain employee benefits, it reserves the absolute right to modify, amend, or terminate them at any time for any reason. If employees have any questions regarding benefits, they should contact Human Resources. Workers' compensation is insurance that provides cash benefits and/or medical care for workers who are injured or become ill as a direct result of their job. If you are injured while performing your job duties, you may be eligible for workers' compensation benefits. You will be required to provide a written report detailing the specifics about the incident as soon as possible. You will have access via an 800 number to report your injury quickly. Once you have made your report, best practice is to notify your manager and the HR team as soon as possible. Your leader will need to know for purposes of ensuring coverage for you, and HR can best direct you through the process to ensure that you receive prompt medical attention and that your claim is appropriately adjudicated. The information provided here is also found on the ADP Employee Self-Service Portal and can always be found by contacting HR. Being ready, willing, and able to serve our patients and their families when they need us is what makes Kids Care a leader in our industry. We can only do so when all our team members have reported to work at the time of their scheduled shift, visit, or appointment. We understand that unforeseen circumstances can and do occur. However, it is the employee's responsibility to inform their manager and/or patient family that a situation has arisen. For clinicians, attempts to reschedule the visit must be made with the family. All attempts must be documented under coordination notes under schedule and notification. If an employee is unable to work because of illness, they must notify their immediate manager as soon as possible, but no later than at least 1 hour prior to the start of shift on each day of the absence, unless the employee has been granted an authorized medical leave, in which case different notification procedures apply. Please note, the 1 hour requirement is a standard expectation. Departments may have different requirements based on their operational needs. It is an employee's responsibility to verify with their leader as to the specific requirement. PTO time should be used when an employee is absent from a normally scheduled workday. If no PTO is available, the employee will not be paid. Employees will be documented for excessive, unexcused absences, which will result in disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment.
All non-exempt employees are required to clock in and clock out at the beginning and end of their assigned work schedule. You are responsible for the accuracy of your time as reported via the timekeeping procedures. Each employee should verify that their time reported is completely accurate at the end of each week. If you forget to punch in, punch out, or there is an error on your time card, your leader must make the necessary corrections. Necessary corrections must be identified and submitted for correction in time to be processed with a regular payroll. Otherwise, the employee might not receive payment in part or in full until the next scheduled pay date. The following guidelines are not to be considered all-inclusive. Each employee is expected to review and approve their own time card. Falsification of time records is cause for disciplinary action up to and including possible termination of those involved. Each employee is expected to follow their work schedule. Communicate needed flexibility proactively. If an employee needs to leave their scheduled shift unexpectedly, their leader should be notified of the need for a change to the schedule.
Kids Care will remain in compliance with all federal, state, and local guidelines concerning wage deductions from an employee's pay. Where required by law, deductions will not take an employee below minimum wage or a salaried exempt employee below their predetermined salary. Employees' future pay may be deducted or garnished for any number of reasons. This may result in deductions for more than one pay period. All employees of Kids Care Home Health are required to adhere to a non-solicitation agreement as a condition of their employment. Once employment with Kids Care Home Health ends, a clinician may not solicit transfer of any patient they treated while employed by Kids Care Home Health for a period of 2 years from their last date of employment with Kids Care Home Health. Violations of the non-solicitation agreement can have severe legal consequences for the clinicians involved. Kids Care Home Health reserves the right to legally challenge any former employee engaged in activities that violate the non-solicitation agreement to the fullest extent allowed within the law. Kids Care Home Health is committed to fostering a culture of compliance and an environment in which employees, managers, and contractors are educated and knowledgeable about their role in reporting concerns and problems in relation to compliance and ethics. Kids Care Home Health expects employees to uphold the highest standards of honesty and integrity in all areas of practice. All employees will be provided with comprehensive education about healthcare fraud and abuse at time of hire and at least annually thereafter. Employees of Kids Care Home Health have a responsibility and obligation to report any suspected instances of fraud when that person knows of conduct constituting a violation under the Federal False Claims Act, FCA, and related laws. If employees fail to properly report, they can be held personally liable and subject to disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment. Actual fraud and failure to report actual fraud are treated equally from a disciplinary perspective. Any of the following may be contacted to report suspected fraud and abuse within Kids Care Home Health: immediate supervisor, an agency director, quality assurance or human resources department, the corporate compliance officer or administrator, anonymous submission form via the clinician SharePoint site. All employees and contractors who suspect fraud and or abuse have an obligation to bring any potential report to the attention of one of the above listed supervisors. Your identity will be kept confidential throughout the process within the confines of the agency. If, for any reason, you feel that you cannot confidentially report your claim internally, you may choose to file your claim with the Health and Human Services Officer of the Inspector General Hotline at 1-800-447-8477. It is strongly encouraged that internal lines of reporting be utilized prior to contacting external resources to allow for an internal investigation and immediate intervention for any identified issues. Employees may, by virtue of their employment, obtain access to sensitive, confidential, restricted, and proprietary information about the agency, agency staff, and or patients that is not generally known or made available to the public, competitors, which agency has made reasonable efforts to keep confidential. All confidential information which an employee is exposed to, conceives, or develops, alone or with others, shall be the exclusive property of the employer and or patient, and should be maintained confidential in compliance with federal, state, and company policies and or regulations. Agency staff will have access to protected health information, or PHI for short, for patients and/or other staff members as required to perform job duties. Agency staff will receive training pertaining to use, disclosure, and confidentiality requirements of PHI upon hire and at least annually. Agency will maintain current and train staff on these policies as changes are made. Such confidential information shall be used solely by employees in the performance of their job duties for the agency and shall not be used in any other manner whatsoever during their employment. Upon termination of employment, employees must deliver to agency and all confidential information, whether stored electronically or as a document, including but not limited to copies of such documents prepared or produced in connection with their employment with the agency that pertain to the agency business or the employee's services, whether made or compiled by the employee or furnished to the employee in connection with such services to the agency. In addition, at termination, employees must return all agency's non-confidential property documents and/or electronic information. This policy does not limit the common law and statutory rights of the agency. As an important member of the Kids Care team, employees are expected to accept certain responsibilities, adhere to acceptable business principles in matters of personal conduct, and always exhibit a high degree of personal integrity. We stand for integrity and the highest ethical standards. Any violation of the spirit and purpose of this code shall be considered unethical. We expect our employees to comply with all laws applicable to their jobs and responsibilities. We also expect our employees to comply with Kids Care home health policies as a condition of their continued employment. Unauthorized use or disclosure of confidential information or violation of any of these policies may result in discipline up to and including termination, prosecution, or other available action. The Code of Ethics and Business Conduct is intended to serve as a guideline for all employees in the following areas. Professional responsibilities include reporting any behavior that may be witnessed or encountered which is unethical and unprofessional. Keep your license as is required by your job role current. If for some reason your license is allowed to lapse, it is the employee's responsibility to report such and cease performing their job duties, i.e. accessing personal health information, PHI, or seeing patients immediately. Providing exceptional patient care is the #1 goal of all Kids Care employees. In order to meet this goal, we must respect the rights and dignities of all individuals. We must provide compassionate care and keep the patient experience as our top priority. We shall use every one of our resources to maintain high quality service. If we find ourselves unable to continue to provide patient care, we will provide adequate notice. Employees have a fiscal responsibility when completing their duties. Administrative employees must appropriately record their time worked. Clinicians must only charge for services rendered. Reporting and being paid for hours or visits that are not worked or completed is considered gross misconduct and is grounds for immediate termination of employment. Patient information is protected under federal law. As such, employees must make all reasonable efforts to keep all confidential information as such. Protected health information must be handled per appropriate organizational policy. At no point may patient and/or employee information be accessed for purposes unrelated to individual job duties. Employees may not solicit the transfer of any patient while employed by Kids Care Home Health or for a period of 2 years from their last date of employment with Kids Care. Employees will behave in a professional manner as a representative of Kids Care Home Health. Employees shall not engage in dishonesty, forgery, fraud, deceit, misrepresentation, harassment, or any other form of conduct that adversely reflects upon Kids Care. Employees shall not participate in personal or professional activities that constitute a conflict of interest. Employees will take care of Kids Care property and return it in the condition received it upon separation. The above is a small representation on what Kids Care includes in our Code of Ethics and Business Conduct policy. Please review the Employee Handbook, Section 4-1 for a more extensive list. Kids Care Home Health provides equal employment opportunities to all employees and applicants for employment without regard to race, color, religion, sex, national origin, age, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, political belief, disability, or status as a veteran or a disabled veteran in accordance with applicable federal laws. In addition, Kids Care Home Health complies with all applicable federal, state, and local laws governing non-discrimination in employment in every facility. This policy applies to all terms and conditions of employment. Improper interference with the ability of any Kids Care Home Health employee to perform their expected job duties will not be tolerated. This is reflected in all Kids Care Home Health practices and policies regarding hiring, training, promotion, transfers, rates of pay, layoff, and other forms of compensation. All matters relating to employment are based upon ability to perform the job, as well as dependability and reliability once hired. Kids Care Home Health intends to provide a work environment that is pleasant, helpful, comfortable, and free from intimidation, hostility, or other offenses that might interfere with work performance. Harassment, including sexual harassment of any sort, physical, verbal, or visual, will not be tolerated. This policy shall apply without regard to gender and without regard to sexual orientation. What is harassment? Harassment can take many forms. It is generally occurring when an employee is made uncomfortable by words, signs, jokes, pranks, intimidation, physical contact, or violence. Harassment is not necessarily sexual in nature. Sexual harassment refers to unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature when such conduct has the purpose or effect of unreasonably interfering with an employee's work performance or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment. Such actions are strictly prohibited. Each member of Kids Care Home Health staff is responsible for creating an atmosphere free of discrimination and harassment, sexual or otherwise. Furthermore, employees are responsible for respecting the rights of their coworkers. If an employee experiences, witnesses, or is told about any type of harassment or discrimination based on sex, race, national origin, disability, or other factor, or if any employee believes they have been treated in an unlawful, discriminatory manner, the following procedures should be followed. Step 1 is to have the employee report the incident of discrimination or harassing conduct immediately to their leader or to the Human Resources Department. The complaint will be kept confidential to the maximum extent possible. Step number 2 is upon being informed of an allegation of harassment or discrimination, the Human Resources Department will investigate the matter. All reports will be promptly investigated with as much anonymity and regard for the privacy of everyone involved as is possible to complete a thorough investigation. Any employee found to have harassed a fellow employee or subordinate will be subject to severe disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment. If a situation is created wherein the sexual harassment is severe, such as touching, groping, or physical assault, the offended employee should go directly to the Human Resources Department to report the incident. An investigation will begin immediately and, if appropriate, law enforcement authorities would be notified.
It is the responsibility of each Kids Care employee to ensure that all required employee documentation is kept current and on file with HR. The following records must be kept per federal, state, and local agencies in the employee file. A current copy of the clinician's professional license. Licenses are reviewed on an annual basis or more often if necessary. You may not see patients without a valid license. Doing so will subject the employee to disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment. CPR must remain active and valid. CPR is typically valid for a 2-year period. It is your responsibility to provide up-to-date information to HR. All employees must read, test, and pass all role-based required trainings annually. Failure to do so may result in a compliance hold or inability to treat or other disciplinary action. Employment with Kids Care is at will. Employment may be ended with or without notice at any time in the option of the employee or of Kids Care, except as otherwise provided by law. If your performance is unsatisfactory due to lack of ability, failure to abide by policies, or failure to fulfill the requirements of your job, you will be notified of the problem. Dependent upon the nature or incident of the problem, action steps can include verbal warnings, written warnings, final warning, and termination, in whatever sequence or combination Kids Care Home Health may determine appropriate in its sole discretion. Some incidents may result in immediate dismissal. It is impossible to compile a complete list of prohibited conduct. Some examples include endangering patient safety, violating confidentiality, theft of either company or patient property, violation of the zero tolerance patient service policy, falsification of time worked, workplace violence, and disrespectful conduct. Please review section 5 to 6 of the Employee Handbook carefully for guidance. Misunderstandings or conflicts can arise in any organization. To ensure effective working relations, it is important that such matters be resolved before serious problems develop. It is important to note that the purpose of dispute resolution is to provide an avenue to create an open and communicative space for issues to be discussed and resolved in a professional manner. Parties must be open to resolving their issues for this process to be effective. While most incidents resolve themselves naturally, if a situation persists that an employee believes is detrimental to themselves or to Kids Care Home Health, the employee should bring the complaint to the attention of the appropriate parties by following the procedure outlined below. First, discuss the problem with your immediate leader. If, however, you do not believe a discussion with your immediate leader is appropriate or you do not feel comfortable bringing the matter to their attention, you should contact a member of the Human Resources Department. To resolve the problem, the facts will be considered and an investigation may occur to understand all perspectives of the problem. A response to your complaint will be received within 10 working days of filing the complaint. If you are not satisfied with the decision and wish to pursue the problem or complaint further, you may prepare a written summary of your concerns and request the matter be reviewed by the VP of Human Resources. After full examination of the facts, you will normally be advised of the decision within 15 working days, and the decision made by the VP of Human Resources shall be final. Kids Care Home Health's professional atmosphere is maintained in part by the image we present to our patients and their families. We expect all employees to present a neat, conservative, well-groomed appearance and a courteous disposition. The Kids Care Personal Appearance and Hygiene Policy is designed to assist us in providing a consistent, professional appearance to our customers and colleagues. Our appearance reflects on ourselves and the company. This policy applies to all employees representing Kids Care. We expect that our employees' appearance is keeping with customary acceptable attire and safety practices such as closed-toed shoes. Please be sure to always keep your ID badge on you as a means of identifying yourself as a team member of Kids Care, and let our team know if you ever need a replacement badge. Any employee found to be in violation of this policy is going to be expected to immediately correct the issue, which may involve leaving work to change clothes. Time spent correcting a personal appearance violation is going to be unpaid. Repeated policy violations will result in disciplinary action up to and including termination. Please be sure to review Handbook Policy 514 for additional information concerning the Personal Appearance and Hygiene Policy. Items listed here are not an exhaustive list. A good rule to follow when considering whether or not something is appropriate for the working environment is if you have to stop and ask yourself, is this appropriate for work? If you're questioning it, it probably isn't. Reach out to HR if you have any additional questions. Firearms can pose a danger to employees and the safety of others. Whether licensed to carry a weapon or not, employees may not possess firearms while conducting company business. Employees may keep a firearm secured in a locked personal vehicle while at work. Employees may not ever carry a firearm in a company vehicle. Employees may possess pepper spray or a personal defense stun gun on company property or while conducting company business. It is expected that employees use any personal defense device responsibly and in accordance with personal safety training they may be required to take when purchasing such devices. Kids Care assumes no liability regarding the use of personal defense devices, and any employee found violating this policy will be subject to disciplinary action up to and including immediate termination of employment. Life is unpredictable. There are times we all need to step away to take care of our own medical concerns, be there for a family member going through a health crisis, or to bond with our newborn babies. Kids Care follows all federal, state, and local regulations when determining an employee's eligibility for a leave of absence. In those instances where leave is not required by law, Kids Care has developed voluntary leave programs in support of our team members. Section 6 of the Employee Handbook explains our leave programs. However, should you find yourself in such a circumstance, please contact our Benefits and Leave Specialist for assistance. We can guide you through the process so that you can feel confident in stepping away and focusing on whatever it is that life has thrown your way. We serve our patients and their families 7 days a week, 365 days a year. During those times of inclement weather, we rely upon our employees to determine if it is safe for them to drive. We encourage them to use their best judgment in determining whether to come to the office or travel to our patients' homes. KidsCare may choose to designate an otherwise scheduled in-person workday as a televisit in times of poor weather conditions, if possible. Managers will communicate with their teams if this option is available. Should an employee choose to stay home on a scheduled and confirmed workday due to weather conditions, employees must notify their manager as soon as practical and will likely be required to submit PTO requests unless shifts can be rearranged. KidsCare subscribes to Alert Media as a means of communicating potential hazardous weather and other related safety concerns. It is the responsibility of the KidsCare Information Technology team, as well as each employee, to ensure that our information is secure. As such, we also recognize that the use of the internet, email, and other technologies are essential tools for completing everyday tasks. Employees are expected to use all technologies as outlined in our IT policies appropriately. It is extremely important that we keep our patients' protected health information secure to remain in compliance with HIPAA. Section 7.6 of the Employee Handbook outlines the policies that are applicable to us all, whether on a company-issued device or transmissions regarding KidsCare on personal devices. If you are unsure as the right way to store or transmit information, please review Section 7.6 of the Handbook, speak with your direct manager, or contact the HR or QA teams for guidance. All employees receive HIPAA training as required by law upon hire and annually thereafter. Furthermore, the technology guidelines found in Section 7.6 of the Handbook are not exhaustive. Should you have any questions concerning proper use of company equipment or systems, please reach out to a member of the HR or IT teams. It is important to mention that KidsCare communicates through work email. It is your responsibility as an employee to check your work emails regularly for company updates and important requests. Best way to prepare for an emergency is to practice. Fire and inclement weather drills should be conducted periodically. It is important in the case of an emergency to remain calm, follow any safety guidelines as defined within our safety policies, and call 911 when appropriate. KidsCare Home Health does not allow fighting, threatening words or conduct, loud or abusive language, or any other actions that could injure a patient, patient's family, fellow employee, or member of the public, regardless of where such words or actions occur. KidsCare Home Health also prohibits employees, staff, and all other persons other than law enforcement and authorized security personnel from bringing firearms, ammunition, explosives, or other weapons of any kind into KidsCare Home Health property or in patients' homes. This policy applies regardless of whether the employee is entitled to carry a concealed weapon by the law. Any violation of this policy may subject an employee to disciplinary action up to and including immediate termination. Active shooter incidents are unpredictable and happen quickly. While we should feel safe in our places of employment, the reality of our world makes it such that we prepare for such an incident at any time. Additional training will be provided to our team members as part of our safety trainings, but at its most basic, our options include run, when there is an active threat and you're able to safely get away. Once you're safe, call 911. 2. Hide. You cannot safely escape, hide. Block the door, avoid any windows, and silence your cell phone. And finally, 3, fight. Only as a last resort if your life is in danger. Let's discuss a few available employee resources. The KidsCare intranet SharePoint site will give you the ability to access webmail, internal job posting, employee documents, careers, quizzes, and more. You'll be able to access this site once you have received your login information. Please pay special attention to the KidsCare Employee Learning Center. For any technical issues, please contact IT through one of the available methods provided here. KidsCare utilizes ADP Workforce Now as our HRIS and payroll system. The ADP self-service site provides you access to your employment data, including pay stubs, W-4 withholdings, direct deposit information, paid time off is, and your answer. Through this portal, you can request time off, update your address, enter your bank account information, update your emergency contacts, complete employee reviews, and review your handbook and other important materials. As a nursing team member, it is important that you know who to contact should you need assistance. If you don't necessarily know who to reach out to, just call HR.
The Kids Care HR team is committed to holding ourselves accountable for delivering best-in-class results while fostering an ethical workplace. We do this in support of our employees, our leaders, and our organization. We are committed to enhancing our service by embracing continuous improvement opportunities, championing a culture of collaboration and open communication, and fostering the advancement of professional learning and development. In keeping with our care culture, our values include C, commitment. We are committed to continuous improvement by fostering creativity through an open and curious mindset. A, accountability. We encourage open and direct feedback and value the diversity of thoughts, experiences, and backgrounds. We celebrate participation and partnership in all our endeavors, embracing and welcoming peer accountability as a means for improvement. R, results. We believe that everyone deserves exceptional customer service and quality results. E, ethics. We honor our commitments and conduct ourselves professionally and in a manner that will encourage equality, honesty, respect, and trust. We are so very excited that you have joined our Kids Care team. Please do not hesitate to reach out to our group with any questions or concerns. Thank you for your attention to our presentation today. Again, welcome to our care culture and our team.